Nine Ghost asks, what step did you take to set yourself up in the future for getting out of the military? The number one thing I track is options and how I'm able to create options for myself. And typically it involves money. Money. My number one goal for leaving the military is to be able to leave on my own accord. I don't want to be put out. I don't want to be forced out, and I don't want to have. I don't want to have to re-enlist if I don't want to. And so, with that, my decisions obviously play a major factor in that. Making staff pretty much guaranteed me the ability, more or less, to retire in the military. You can't retire as senior airman. You can't do 20 years as a senior airman. You can do 20 as a staff sergeant. So, making staff sergeant, ensured that if I wanted to retire, I'd not have that option starting now. Now, with that, if I wanted to get out after my 6-year contract, which is around August of next year, do I have the income lined up as far as where I will be working or how my income will be, sustaining me outside the military? Because for a lot of people who don't plan this, it's a turbulent transition to going from this guaranteed paycheck infrastructure to just going back to the economy. And you're subject to the economy because the Air Force cushions the economy wherever you live. Alaska is a very expensive place to live. DC, my last base, very expensive place to live. I never felt it because your pay compensates. The cost of living is literally in Alaska, we get cost of living to kind of cushion that blow of living in different economies. When you're civilian, depending on your career field or what have you, or your income, you may feel the full effect of where you live. You live in New York City, making $30,000 a year, you're homeless. You're homeless. So it's those type of things revolving money. Money solves problems. So in most cases, I line up my TSP, I line up my savings account, my emergency savings account, and I manage mostly my income, my passive income streams. This being one of them. I post typically twice a day, 3 a.m. and 9 a.m. Alaska time zone. Just posting content. This is a source of income. Typically once or twice a week on my podcast, which is this episode. The longer, anything over 10 minutes or so is a podcast. It's on Anchor, Spotify, iTunes, or Apple Music rather. But yeah, just managing my streams of income. I also give one-on-one consultations. Link in the description. If you need a conversation one-on-one with me, those are available as well. I sell merch. Like I have streams of income that I don't have to actively be touching it. This is obviously something I have to do actively, or I have to be present for. And then editing my videos, I do that in the morning typically. But the point is that I'm actively putting pillars in place that I can build upon. Meaning, if I lost my job tomorrow, I would still have income. I probably won't be living to the same level I'm living now because I'm still in the building phase. But the fact that I'm still looking ahead and I'm tracking my decisions to ensure they map to each other. You can't spend everything you make. Keep that in mind. You can't spend everything you make. The military is a very sheltered environment. A lot of people get lost here and they wake up 6 years later and realizing I have nothing to show for my 6 years outside of a free education, a couple of experiences, some friends, contacts, but I'm broke. I'm broke. And it's very easy to outspend your income. It's very easy because a lot of people just assume, oh, first is coming around, 15th is coming around. Oh, taxes drop next week. They fall asleep. And they wake up 6 years later, they get out of the military trying to transition, and they realize, I can't afford to move into this apartment. I can't afford my car note. And the military offers all these different pay advances and DLA advances and all BH advances. You first move, you PCS somewhere else, you got paid leave you can use. You got house hunting days you can use to go find an apartment, all get set up. Civilian world, it's different. It's different. So realizing immediately and upfront before you join the military, the value of the resources and the entitlements that you have available to you. Because once you're on your way out, a lot of people forget the civilian world. It's reality. It's reality. So just keep those type of things in mind. And that's sort of what I'm doing. is just kind of setting myself up to make smooth transition to whatever I want. Because it's one thing to have a ton of options. It's another thing to have smooth transition into those options. Like I have no plans of being homeless trying to get things off the ground. No. I plan to do things very smoothly, which of course takes preparation, being present every single day. So great question.